Man, oh man, this weather is horrible. And it's like freezing cold too. I'm surprised it's not like snowing. Alright, let's do this. Whew. It's chilly out here. I need to go find a hat to put on. Alright, that's better. Alright, so the plan for today is I'm starting the rebuild today, but before I do that, I want to run through everything that's wrong with my FRS. It's not going to be like a numbered list or anything because I can't even think off the top of my head how many there are. So we're just going to run through it. I'm going to show you everything that's wrong with it, everything needs to be fixed, upgraded, just everything that just in general bothers me about the car that I want to address. So hopefully it'll be kind of quick, but it probably won't. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, first thing that's wrong with the car, that bumper's cracked and it has definitely seen better days. In this whole little area right here is just pretty much jacked up from something I hit on the interstate. I don't know what it was, but the bumper and fender right here don't really line up anymore, and the signal light is pretty much dislodged. This whole plastic piece is out and it's just kind of hanging out, not where it's supposed to be. So yeah, that's busted. Everything, that's just three things right here in this one little area that's messed up. This wheel has some pretty serious curb rash. See if I can get it. Right here. I'm not even going to explain to you how exactly that happened, but it was tragic. I think it happened before I even started this YouTube channel, really. Or maybe I did and I just didn't record it. But yeah, curb rash on that wheel. That's the only wheel that's messed up though. The other ones are fine. Fitment issues. When I first wide bodied this car, I was still pretty inexperienced with what I was doing, but you know, I went ahead and sent it and it backfired a little bit. So this kit, that's not supposed to be a gap between where the fender starts and the door. That's supposed to be right there on the door. This whole gap right here is not supposed to be there. So as a result, the fit is wonky on this rep kit. Same thing on the other side. I did it on both sides like an idiot, but the fit, matter of fact, that's another thing that's wrong with this car. The kit just isn't real. It's a rep kit. I just got what I could afford at the time, and now I can afford something a little bit better. Not really I can afford it, but I got something a little bit better, and this will be getting replaced with the new Phantom kit that I got. So that's another thing that's wrong with it. This kit it's just not a real kit, and that bothers me a little bit, but not as much as the fact that I didn't get the kit to fit right in the first place. Like right here in this area is pretty decent, but right along here it drives me crazy. So that is another issue that needs to be fixed. Probably gonna have to get whole new front fenders to remedy that situation. And while I'm up here, let me not forget, since we're talking about this area in general, turning radius is horrible. I know that's probably like just a normal thing on wide body cars just in general, but the turn radius on here is horrible. I know I can fix a lot of it if I go in and do some stuff. I haven't really researched how to do it yet, but doing 3-point turns in this thing, it sucks. So that's another issue I'm gonna have to address, especially when the new wheels come in. I think they'll be 10 inches wide in the front as opposed to 9.5 in the front that they are now. Plus, I plan on running thicker tires. I want to have like a beefy tire setup when the new wheels come in. Instead of running like, you know, tires with a little stretch, I want them to be beefy looking. So that's going to take up even more space in the wheel well. So I'm going to have to go in there and like make some room, I guess. So that's another thing that's wrong with this car. That turning radius is boo-boo. So I got to fix that. Next thing, this wasn't really a fitment issue. This was driver error more so than anything. This whole little area right here is just, I messed it up. I backed into another car, and this whole thing is cracked. It's just Gorilla Glued back onto itself. And the paint is damaged on these fenders. Luckily for me, there's no paint damage. Well, yeah, I guess, never mind. The bumper's got a little bit of damage on it too. But this whole area right here has been damaged, so that needs to be fixed as well. This tail light, well, both tail lights, they're just stock tinted tail lights until I install the new Valentis that I have. Which I could probably do that in like 5 minutes, but I'll just wait and, you know, just take my time with it. But the tint on these stock tail lights is fading. So I gotta, you know, just put the new ones in. That's an easy fix. I knew that was gonna happen anyway. It was just only gonna be a temporary thing. So yeah, fading tail lights. If you haven't figured it out already, this car is a lot rougher when you stand right up close to it than it is when you see it on like Instagram pictures and stuff. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I know I made some mistakes on this car, but you know, that's how you learn, by making mistakes and trying anyway. So, heck, what's next? What else is wrong? I guess still, I'll stay on the bumper here. The bumper, I don't know how many of you remember when I ran that diffuser, but when it got ripped off, it kind of like ripped the plastic bumper up a little bit.
Mom probably would be crying right now.
Yes, and so I may be getting a new bumper. This whole line where I cut out the little black plastic piece, that needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So yeah, that's another thing that's wrong. Just this whole bumper just needs a lot of love. And then this whole area. Yeah, that's what's wrong back here. That tail light's fading. This whole panel was like the best one that I did. There's absolutely nothing wrong. The fit of it is pretty much perfect. This is pretty much the only good fender I did. That one over there on the other rear side is a little bit wonky, and then of course the two fronts are jacked. So that's another thing I gotta fix. Live and learn. Okay, moving on to interior, and pretty much just basically when I'm driving, if you guys probably didn't watch this video, I'm sure, but when I had to replace my steering rack, the spot where the steering shaft connects to the steering rack is a few teeth off. So basically, to drive straight, you basically, or the wheel's locked right now. So, but basically, to drive straight, the steering wheel is cocked a little bit to the right, but the car drives straight when it's cocked to the right. If you turn it straight up and down like it is right now, then it pulls left because the steering rack isn't aligned perfectly. The teeth on it aren't aligned perfectly. So that's another thing I gotta go up under there, undo that and fix that. That's been like that for a while, but I could deal with it, but I'm ready to just go ahead and get it fixed now and stop being lazy. I'm not sure how long that would take me to do, because I didn't do it the first when I got it replaced. I had somebody help me do that. Also, there's not really a way I can visually represent this through video, but you just have to take my word for it. I need a new battery. This battery has been in here since I bought the car a little over 2 years ago now, so battery's starting to die on me. I have to jump it off. If I don't crank it up like every 3 days, the battery will just completely die and I'll have to get it jumped off. This next one may be a plus to some people, but for me it's not, so it's something that needs to be addressed. The alignment on this thing needs to be addressed. The rear the front's not that bad, but it still needs to be fixed. The rears have much more camber than I'm really happy with. I mean, I guess it's cool. I do like it, but I just don't want it on my car. Fronts aren't that bad, but the rear inside edge of the tires wear out rather quickly. or well quicker than what they would if, you know, if it was just a straight up and down alignment. So that's something I want to get addressed. The reason I want to get it fixed in the front is because of steering feel. The steering feel on this car, when you have camber, the steering feel, at least for me in my situation, gets heavier. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I liked it a lot better how it felt when it was stock, with a stock alignment. It was nice and light. Wherever you turned it, that's where it pointed that way quick, and it was just a nice steering feel. With the front tires, even just a tiny little bit of camber that they have, kind of ruined that feeling a little bit. So that's something that I also want to get addressed. Interior wise, oh, that side's locked. That side's locked too. I guess I locked the car back by accident. Oops. Okay, so interior wise, there's not necessarily anything wrong besides, like, you know, color preferences. I don't like the silver here and there. This e-brake boot is starting to show some signs of wear. Like, see how it's, if it'll focus on it, how it's starting to get a little bit ripped up. And this driver's side seat is starting to show a little signs of wear. It's like, that's probably a little bit more dirt than anything. That could probably be cleaned, but I want aftermarket seats anyway. It's not necessarily anything wrong, just something, it just kind of bothers me a little bit. And this head unit, oh yeah, the head unit. So this head unit, since I bought the car, it's basically trash. It doesn't, whoever installed, this is an aftermarket head unit, by the way. Whoever was the guy who installed it before I owned it, the previous owner of the car, didn't do a good job at all. I don't have a radio, one, and number two, this jack is just, it doesn't work. So even if I want to listen to my own music, the audio only plays, I forgot which side. It only plays on the right side, the driver's side. I have no audio on the left side if I play through that jack. And I don't have radio. No radio, and if I listen to my own music, no sound from the driver's side. It also doesn't have Bluetooth, so that's also not an option. And it doesn't have like navigation or anything like that, so that sucks. And then, this is just a nitpicky thing. I don't like the fact that there's buttons to adjust volume. I'd rather have a knob where you can just do it real quick instead of buttons where you have to hit it over and over again to keep adjusting the volume, and it's just a pain in the butt. This whole thing is just boo-boo. And so yeah, that's kind of a thing that's wrong. Other than that, interior wise, there's not really anything else. Is just, you know, this car has 70,000 miles on it now, so it's just a couple of little wear and tear things that's going on. But other than that, that's about it for interior, you know, besides the steering wheel not being straight. One thing I almost forgot, boy, my exhaust. Let me see if I can get it to like really show you like how bad this is. If you can see that, my exhaust has a giant hole in it. Now, I don't know how that happened. Well, actually, I know exactly how it happened. Let me tell you. See, I was driving to work right. This is one of the main reasons I needed a daily. I was driving to work right. It's like almost an hour away from where I live. It's like almost an hour away from where I live. And basically was on the interstate, and I just never saw it coming. By the time I saw it, it was too late. I don't even know what it was that I hit. All I know is that it was big and black, and I never saw it coming, and it just absolutely wrecked me.
Giggity, giggity.
So yeah, whatever it was probably a giant piece of blown up tire. And when I saw it, it was too late, and this ended up being the result of that. $1,000 Tomei destroyed. Like, it's almost not even sellable now. So But I mean, I needed a new exhaust anyway, so that was on the, you know, list of things to get. But this just sucked, because it's gonna be, even if I do sell it, it's gonna have to be for dumb cheap. And yeah, my exhaust is wrecked. That's one of the biggest things on this car that's just really wrong right here at this moment in time, is my exhaust is destroyed. Just a big old fat hole. Oh, that sucks. It was titanium, it was nice. I was gonna clean it up for whoever I ended up selling it to, and now it's just, it's wrecked. So that's mostly it as far as what's wrong with the car. The headlight on driver's side, since I put in the BRZ headlights, I think I messed with it and I didn't mean to. That one is much higher, adjusted much higher than the left one, so it's like I have a high beam on the right side and a low beam on the left side. So that's another little small thing. I can fix that in 2 minutes. And yeah, that's about it. I need a new Brash Gang banner. I got some more of those. I just haven't took that one off and put a new one on yet. But that was totally faded out, so that's another little small thing. And I mean, anything else is just like regular wear and tear that, you know, paint has like some little nicks and stuff in it. That's most wide body cars, that's going to happen eventually. Little paint nicks and stuff like that. If I could afford it, I would get the car repainted, but I can't really afford it. So eventually, somewhere down the road, I'm just going to try to wrap the car myself and hopefully try to remedy and slow down some of that paint damage. That's about it. I don't know. I'm sure I'll run into something else as I'm going along doing this rebuild, which I'm about to start as soon as I finish this video. I won't edit this up, throw it up, and then I'm gonna start the rebuild video. And yeah, and then maybe a couple videos from now I'll reveal the new vehicle I got. I know I told you in a video in the parts reveal video that it's turbo. I'll give you another one. It's a 2013 and it has like 365 horsepower, I think. I'm looking at the vehicle right now, actually. I'm not going to show it to you yet, because, you know, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to be like all the other YouTubers and bore you guys and keep dragging it on. So I'm going to reveal the car. I'm going to show you guys the car right now, but first you got to like and subscribe. I'm going to wait for you to do that. When you do that, then I'll show you the new car. Done. All right, here it is. You ready? 3, 2, 1.